Well, hello. All I know is it's later in the week, and we've got a live news before we do our deep dive later on season 17, because of course the BBC's been opening its trap. And of course, I really appreciate them as a good little Catholic here. Well, lapsed. I find it fascinating. The BBC have announced, they've finally admitted it, that Doctor Who's going nowhere. It's been going nowhere for years, but they've finally confirmed it. It's been going nowhere. No, yeah, they announced this as if this was a major thing. Now, normally I wouldn't stream about something like this, but there's enough people out there who want to make a big thing of this. I want to actually let's look at this in detail. Doctor Who is going nowhere, says the BBC. Uh, let's unpack this. Yeah. So basically, why is all this kicked off today? It's the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, isn't it? The Doctor Who BBC bosses talk about the future of the series and the spin off at TV Festival. The BBC commissioners have spoken publicly for the first time. They've been hiding about the future of Doctor Who, which has been in a state of limbo since the conclusion of its second series. Well, we didn't ask for it to be in limbo. We didn't ask for a hiatus, but the way it was written and the way it was produced, there was no other choice. Why don't they admit that bit? But anyway, we've had a limbo. They've had a limbo. They haven't had a clue what to do about it. So that's the opening gambit. The Independent reports it, so this is substantiated properly. BBC's firm response over Doctor Who's future. Note the adjective firm. Firm response. So let's take a look at this. So before you look at everybody else who streams about this and says, "Oh, is this big news?" Is it big news? Let's have a look. So I'll go bigger here, so we can actually see what's going on. Release that. So the BBC has confirmed that Doctor Who will continue. Right, we'll look at that. Dispelling rumours that the sci-fi series could be cancelled. Now, if you really, really think about what does that mean, and does it mean anything? We already know in the pipeline there's a kind of CBeebies animation for little kids. We know there's still a spin-off that will be shown next year, they now say, 2026. So they're in such a limbo, they really don't want to release the spin-off early, because then they will have to announce what they're doing with season 3. So let's delay it. Now, my source has been saying that forever, that actually they'll kick it into the long grass, they'll keep the spin-off spinning away in the background, stopping the rest of us from saying, right, now's your time, tell us about season 3. So they're just buying time. So the BBC's confirmed that Doctor Who will continue. Now, they don't say in what format, and they don't say on what platform. It could be an animation, it could be in a spin-off, it could be on the radio. Do you all remember the Wilderness years? The BBC start to get very concise and minimal with their language, very reductive, and that they'll say something like the Doctor Who will always continue, and then you get the Ghost of N-Space. Remember? Or you get New Adventures books. And really, I'm talking about the TV programme. They are not confirming a TV programme season 3, are they? No, they're not. They're just saying Doctor Who will live forever. Speculation about the show's future. Yes, I wonder who caused that. Future arose after Ncuti Gatwa suddenly had to go and get his knees checked out. The BBC Chief Content Officer, I mean, honestly, Kate Phillips, stated that Doctor Who is going nowhere and will remain on the BBC. She might as well announce that the sky is blue and the grass is green. Should we do Halloween now? Because all she's announcing there is the bleeding obvious. Would the BBC sell Doctor Who? The answer is no. So all she's saying is Doctor Who remains with the BBC. That's all she's saying there. At least you can confirm that. We can't confirm most things. So Doctor Who's going nowhere and will remain on the BBC. Well, duh. Even if the co-production deal with Disney Plus ends. We've been announcing it for months. Lindsay Salt, BBC's Director of Drama, reiterated the corporation's commitment to the show, noting its popularity among younger viewers despite rating dips. Oh, they're so good with euphemisms. The 2022 co-production deal with Disney Plus caused division amongst fans, and the rest, particularly in the UK. Yeah, well, it's actually a British program. Due to episodes premiering at midnight on BBC iPlayer, that was the least of it. That was the least of it. Independent. Now, Thread, don't worry, I'm coming to you in a minute. I'll just make sure I've done my news. um, so, speaking at the Edinburgh Festival, BBC's newly appointed Director of Content, Kate Phillips, oh, she must be so chuffed, said when asked about Doctor Who, rest assured it's going nowhere, la la la. We've said that. But later in the session, the BBC's Director of Drama, Lindsay Salt, said there's no update at the moment about whether Salt has created the Mavity. Oh, sorry. It's just a name, isn't it? It distracts you. You think about the Mavity. There's no update at the moment on Doctor Who, but we will share as soon as we can. She says the BBC is committed to Doctor Who as one of the biggest brands and the show is hugely important to us. Right, in normal speak, that's it makes us an awful lot of quid. We certainly don't want to get rid of the back catalogue. We're going to milk it for as much as we can as a cash cow, but we've got nothing officially to announce about a new series because we wrecked it. We sank the machine, and now we're trying to work out how we still milk the cash cow when you've actually just crashed the main vehicle. That's basically, in essence, I think what she said there. Oh, I should be an interpreter. And then it waffles on about Gatwa's regeneration. Yeah, we're trying to get counselling for that. The uncertainty around the series has been caused by Disney's continuing failure to confirm. Oh, bless them. I mean, well, no, that they haven't failed to confirm at all. We all know. Earlier this summer, they just want to remind you that Tom Fussell from the BBC Studios spoke in the annual report, which, as you know, is like a report for kids, where basically you just spin. And on that one, he said, we are really committed to Doctor Who and are continuing to look at ways in which we can bring the show to fans. Yeah, as in CBBS and all the rest of it. So there is actually nothing new there in that statement. And there is nothing new really in when they say that it stays with the BBC. So what we've learned before everybody starts to freak out and say, oh God, whoa, that the BBC who doesn't understand sci-fi, that the BBC that doesn't understand Doctor Who, that the BBC that actually has desperately tried to use RTD twice to save its skin on Doctor Who front because it doesn't know what to do with it, is now in another spin, but it can't ask RTD for the third time. So now it's going to have a little think about what it does. In the meantime, you'll get CBBS Doctor Who with lots of froth, and you'll have to wait another 6 months, I say, for the spin-off. Yeah, that's what's been confirmed today. Youpie-doo. Mad Mackham, good to see you, and thank you very much. I haven't got any videos ready. Season 17 at 5, I'll show you some videos, and thank you for that. A quick thanks for the update and keeping us in the loop. I get all my BBC news from you, because if I listened to them, I'd be barking at the moon. And yeah, don't break your telly. But Mad Mackham, see you at 5 as well, but thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Very nice of you. Right, there's so many people in the margin, as I used to call it. Remember that? Cliff Maxwell there. Yep. Vagueness about their prior vagueness. They are buying time. They just want to put out a statement. This is classic wilderness years. They've learned their lesson from 1989. Don't say anything absolute. Just say, we love it. If you say you love Doctor Who and it's in your thoughts, the fans shut up for a little while. That's all they're doing is buying time. Lee Smith, CBBS animators drawing as fast as they can as we speak. Make 50 episodes. Why don't they actually? Yeah, we'll end up with the CBBS having a narrative arc and everything. Anthony Parkinson, what were these spin-off trailers for? Making you think that it's coming. Because I thought the same thing. Yeah, so now you get the game. Let's have a look. Robert Payne. Rating dips. This dip is 7 out of 10 for vinegarness and texture. Anthony Parkinson, the only way any streamer will invest is with the classic Who back catalogue, and that's worth, I was told by the source, about 400 million. You're not going to get rid of that. Every few years you can rent it out, so to speak, making nearly $500 million. We all know that the BBC is operating from a position of weakness. Can anybody remember my saloon last year when I actually made this clear that although I knew nothing then at all, didn't even have a source, I was trying to guess. It was like an educated guess. I was trying to work out in a negotiation, how do you play it? Well, you might go to San Diego Comic Con and bluff it, and you might say, while Disney's making you sweat, that you actually talk to Kurtzman and other franchises and just make them look as though you're flirting. You could do that. I mean, there's so many things that were going on last year. Equally, Disney thought, we're not going to commit to season 3. There's a few things we want changing. RTD didn't pick up the phone when we were saying things need changing, so we want things changing. The Disney deal is dead, but it won't be dead in, forever if certain things change. Just think Chris Eccleston. Sack, 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 sack. That's basically where Disney stand at the moment. Belt and braces. Doctor Who is like, you stop snipe around, you'll find it in our hearts. It won't die in that way, I agree with you. It's always going to be around. Good old Garbage, I've got 2 great AIs of his at 5. The official statement should have said, Doctor Who fans, we are so sorry, we messed up with RTD and Chibnall. We are going back to the Capaldi regeneration and starting again. Garbage, I think they used the word the. Yes, They haven't really, they didn't say anything. If we can think there's anything amazing in what they're saying, I'll be amazed. Belt and braces, I don't mind them neither liking nor understanding, but I wish they would have at least cared. They thought they did. What's mad, Belt and braces, is they thought they did show they cared, even though they didn't understand it, because they got RTD back and they got a Disney budget. They think we should be grateful for that. For the Space Babies, for the Devil's Cord, for the breaking the fourth wall, for the Mrs. Flood, for the non-delivery of Susan Foreman. They think we should, for the great anorexic Omega, they think we should be so grateful. Oh, I mean, every night I'm saying prayers. Please. Craig Dunlop. What are they buying time for? What is likely to change? Let's be honest, and I've got more news bites coming from the source where he's talked about pictures, DEI, what's going on in that world. You wouldn't want, put it this way, Craig, you would not want your prized, treasured Doctor Who show to go through the meat grind of DEI at the moment. So Arrest is probably, for those who love the show, the best that we can hope for. They're buying time because they made a statement, didn't they? That they would announce season 3, or it's, what would be the plans for it or not, at the end of the spin-off being broadcast. So if you keep kicking the spin-off away, they don't have to say anything. So that's why if anybody in streams or TV or in the media waffles on about these minimal words, they're just trying to make a headline. David Harding, Toronto, we're booking holidays soon. I'm tempted. Why are they waiting until next year to air the fish thing? The fish thing. Could it be that they're in the process of preparing some more Doctor Who and are hoping to hitch? Oh, David, you believe in Father Christmas still, don't you? No. They are discussing other projects to do with Doctor Who, but in different platforms and genres. It's not Doctor Who, so my official answer is no Doctor Who. Cliff Maxwell, I think there's possibly internal uncertainty as to how much the suits care. Some may see value in it, money, while others don't because it doesn't deliver. They don't understand it, Cliff. Please understand. They go to Oxbridge. They're in the boys' club. They're trying to impress people with certain virtues and certain politics. Doctor Who doesn't fit into any of it. It's seen as somebody else's idea, somebody else's program. You want to make a name for yourself with a brand new program and a brand new idea, and Doctor Who is just so yesterday. And on top of that, your audiences are so vile and toxic and argumentative. You just want to make another little program about some detective who's got Asian, looks Asian or something like that, and she's from Manchester. That's it. Just a brand new detective show. She's trans. That's it. You don't want to do a Doctor Who show because honestly, it would kill you. So that's a disappointment. We've got Robert Payne. The BBC are probably not thinking about Doctor Who as much as we are. Oh, how right you are. No, actually, I know that commissioning editors and stuff, will look at projects, and I mean projects. Can you remember the TARDIS cam? That's the level of it. Remember the TARDIS cam where you would get a TARDIS cam for about 5 or 6 seconds and see a lovely TARDIS in different places? Remember the cyber helmet? That's that's almost the level of it. The best of it might be like a Star Trek animated series, like the CBeebies one, although the CBeebies one sounds much younger. Um, Garbage. If the BBC were clever, they could have made many episodes and released one every month until next year. Garbage, you have started. Remember Castrovalva? Wasn't it Tegan or was it Nis who said if? It's the biggest word in the English language. If. Unfortunately, they haven't done it. So, sorry about that. Moira, good to see you. I was so grateful when I heard RTD was coming back. Me and you both, as I thought he wanted to save Doctor Who. I was scared of it would be cancelled. Me and you both. After suffering the farce of the last two series, it has to go. Me and you both. And I actually do want a hard reboot. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying it now until everybody assassinates me. So, Matt the Silent. Just had to deal with some insulting my perfectly good idea of degenerating the Doctor back to Capaldi before regenerating him into a new 13th Doctor. They have actually accidentally set it up. The Mavity thing, the fantasy arc. People are talking about the Bigeneration, the Salt, the Mavity, and saying there's an awful lot of hocus pocus twaddle that could actually allow somebody, if they really were felt like it, to actually go and take it backwards a few years. Steve, good to see you. BBC didn't. He's got his TARDIS as a swine. I still haven't found them in B&M yet. BBC didn't care because they got their money up front from Disney. BBC only care now because the money isn't coming in. I think you've pointed out one thing about public service, sadly, which is it's not as competitive. And yes, they've splundered the money without using that money wisely. They could have actually, I think, made a lot more episodes and done a lot more with this show. Really could have. Absolutely disaster. So let's have a look. Keeping up to date, and then I'll do a bit more. Cliff Maxwell. That they don't understand it is what I'm trying to say is they either think it's old news or not the right vehicle for the new agendas. Well, they've used it as for their agendas already. I mean, hello. So Fussell said BBC Studios are committed, and obviously the Disney Plus said they will continue to have partnerships with the BBC. That's kind of everybody just saying we're still friends. Meanwhile, the BBC is set to expand the Whoniverse as it launches plans for a brand new preschool animation series, which will see the Doctor's adventures come to CBeebies for the first time ever. Oh, God. The BBC is looking for a passionate production company to create and produce a series with basically very immature, childish adventures. You wouldn't recognise it as Doctor Who. And, you know, remember The Trial of a Time Lord? Remember Colin Baker? Remember Michael Grade? This just takes me back to all that again. That you hang on a couple of words. You can't hang on a very basic, almost innocent statement. One thing that is different is the BBC have learned, don't say no, don't say they've killed Doctor Who, don't say they hate Doctor Who. Basically, just say you love it. And it's in your thoughts as your head hits the pillow every night. And that's basically the essence of it. Don't see it as anything amazing. I see Anthony Parkinson here. I know I'll do a Newsbite update on Rowland. I wasn't too sure if Rowland was a really interesting thing. It's like saying some presenter says Doctor Who should carry on. It's like, you know, it's like, should I do a Newsbites tomorrow? You know, Bin Man says to Brendan, Doctor Who used to be good. It should come back. Would you all watch? I mean, it's a bit basic. Considering what Rowland puts in, Anthony Parkinson, wash your mouth out with sup. Matt the Silent. I was already, detention club for you. I was already considering a little girl doctor, but that was just for a special episode where doctors from parallel universes unite to save the day. Look, we've had an old doctor, well, 50s. Look at me, gee, God. We've had the 20s doctors, the 30s, 40s doctors. Are we really going to say in the future that the only thing that's not being done is like a teen doctor? Would you do it? Would you buy into it, everybody? A teen doctor? Or would you feel as though it would have more problems narratively? Yeah. So dancing around the now. I'm not dancing around the announcement. Do you mean that? Everybody is. So let's just get back to it. Doctor Who is going nowhere. As I said, sky is blue, grass is green. Nothing surprising there. Nothing to see here. I mean, what did we think the BBC were going to announce? The spin-off is next week, and straight after that, we're going to announce season 3 and season 4. Well, that would be in our dreams when TV was good. As it is, I appreciate time. I appreciate this is the actually the public are not talking about is Doctor Who coming back. The media aren't. So I think this is good. This is already the decay, entropy, Logopolis. It's already started. I'm all, some people say, "Oh God, we might have to wait 10 or 15 years to bring Doctor Who back." No, 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 no. I think at this rate, everybody will have forgotten Doctor Who quite quickly, and there's a chance. So that was you just being made up to date. I don't want to kind of drag it out because there's not much of an announcement. Basically, in essence, they had to say something because they were on a panel. And apparently, the independent journalist thinks that was a firm response. Well, it basically said, we are not ditching Doctor Who because obviously they want the money. So just to show you that one more time, the BBC has confirmed that Doctor Who will continue, dispelling rumours. And all I'll say to you as a parting shot, folks, is does that really dispel the rumours at all? What, saying that it's going to exist on the BBC in some shape? If Doctor Who continued just on CBeebies, will that make you happy? Because they're not saying much at all, are they? Let's be honest. Now, that was a brief news bite. No clips. Sorry about that, because I'm live. We're back at 5, season 17. Creature from the Pit, Lady Adrasta, Destiny of the Daleks, Paris, the Naimon, the Mandrels. If only it had a dark light. See you at 5, everybody. That was the news bites for today, with not much news, but everybody else is making a lot of it, so I thought I'd better put my Tuppence worth in. Bye for now.